BRICS is not a viable coalition in the long run if India and China remain adversaries. And there is, as as far as we see right now, there is no major move or steps being taken for India and China to resolve the border issue. So, in that case, it would be kind of unwise for India to throw its lot with BRICS, especially when China is the major economy in BRICS. That's dangerous. But once again, when it comes to the US and the West, they are now favoring Pakistan over India. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for India to throw its lot in with the US as well. So that is the conundrum, the dilemma that India is facing right now. I would say that India needs to put its head down and work on the economy. India has to anyhow ensure that there are the next 10, 20 years are years of peace. There is no major conflict, no major war. Yeah, do the balancing act anyhow, and ensure that you reach at least $10 trillion of GDP, annual GDP. Once you do that, India will become a whole different beast, and it will be difficult for even a nation like China to think about needling India or trying to play any mischief with India. So yeah, it's a conundrum for India. BRICS is, I mean, we would like to see a parallel world order, a new world order, a different set of rules as compared to the old, you know, the legacy world order, the imperial world order of the US, the so-called rules-based uh, system, the UN system, and all that. We would like to see a new thing come up, but as long as India and China have this relationship, bad relationship, it's not going to be long-term viable in the long term. So yeah, that's where we are, and right now there are no right answers. Right now there are no right answers, so India has to essentially not rely on anybody. Nobody's gonna come and save India if something goes wrong. India is essentially on its own. All nations are on their own. Some nations have their groupings, like the US has a bunch of like 50, 60 vassal states that it can order to do whatever it wants. The Chinese have Pakistan. They had Pakistan. Pakistan is now in the US camp. So the Chinese have South Korea, and they were trying to bribe various nations, but nobody trusts China anymore. China and Russia have this transactional relationship of which is kind of a cooperative relationship for now, but Russia does not trust China, and neither does China trust Russia. So BRICS is, India and Russia have a reasonable amount of trust. So as long as China is in BRICS, it's a problem, and China refuses to behave. China itself has imperial ambitions of its own. So yeah, that is the problem which we are in right now from India's perspective, and time will tell how it goes. The only thing for India is to rise. India has to anyhow ensure that it rises economically and stays peaceful for the next 10 years at least. Yeah, one could deal with Pakistan in a variety of ways, but there should be no war with China or any other major nations for minimum the next 10 years. Then India will be in a good position to set its own rules. So that's the situation.